Coming to you from my home studio in Sun City, Arizona. And today the tune that I'm using is an old tune from the early 1900s called Redwing. But this tune has had a lot of lifetimes, so to speak. In the early 1900s it was a pop tune, and it would have been played by ragtime bands with a tuba and a banjo player in it. And then the Midwest polka bands picked it up. Now these were what we call the Dutchman style bands that had a tuba player in it and had usually a concertina or an accordion, and often had a couple of saxophones and a couple of clarinets, maybe a couple of trumpets. And then in 1940, Woody Guthrie picked it up and he rewrote the lyrics to it and used it as a union protest song for when the factory bigwigs were trying to bust unions and women were trying to get into unions. So it had a completely different set of words. And also in that time, some of the old style country bands had played it. And then also in that same time period and a little bit later, some of the big bands picked it up and played it in their style. So I'm using the Roland 4X Dale Mathis edition today as an example of how you can play music in so many different styles with the Dale Mathis programming. And this is something very special that you cannot get from Roland, and actually it's not available anywhere else. It's only available on the Dale Mathis edition accordions, which are sold by Craft Music in Milwaukee. So I'll just take you in here for a quick little demonstration. So we're using what's called user programs today. So when the accordion is first turned on, it just plays as a traditional accordion. But of course the Roland has so many more possibilities, and because I've got a lot of programming experience, and my major in college was music, and so I had to take orchestration classes, and I played in a lot of different style of bands over the years. So I know a thing or two about this stuff. So let's take you in here and show you what I've put together for the 4X. So instead of traditional accordion sounds, okay, So we changed it to bring up some band style. So we're going to user program. And the first one that I'm going to bring up is the user bank number 2. And that had the country stuff in it. So there's fiddles. Let's bring up some volume. And it also had the fiddle, or harmonica rather. And what else is in here? Twangy guitar. And the banjo. And of course I do have an accordion in it, I just didn't use it in today's song. Okay, so that was in user program bank 2. And now we're going to completely switch the accordion around and we're going to go to user bank 3. And that was where the oompa band was. So now, let's see, we started off with an accordion there. See, that's where you get the tuba now. And so all the sounds are set up to do the old oompa style. So we get a musette accordion. And we've got a clarinet player. Let's get the reverb back a little bit. And we've got a nice little musette accordion. And we've got the trumpets. Okay, so now we're going to switch to another user program. And so I'm going to use the forward button here. And we're going to go to user program bank 6. And now it's all big band sounds. So now we go back to the string bass player here. And we've got the saxophones doing the chords. And here we get the saxophone ensemble. So that's the thing that is so wonderful about Dale Mathis programming, is all of these orchestra sounds. They're all set up for you. And this is even more so true. I'm using the 4X today as an example, but it's even more so true on the 8X model because I've got so much more memory to work with. So just to give you a concept, in the 4X model, I've got 98 user programs available, and these are divided into groups of 14 and then subdivided again into 7 because on the panel I only have room for 7 buttons. So for example, in this one, bank number 6, it's the big band stuff on numbers 1 through 7. But then if I go through to the numbers 8 to 14, then it is, here's a bagpipe. Okay, enough of that. But it's the Irish stuff. So there, it's actually divided into groups. So you have 14 different groups on the 4X. On the 8X, there's so much memory on that one. There are 1,400 user programs, and I've filled up about, what did I say, there are 43 banks, and each bank has 14 registers, so there is a lot. So I've got several oompa banks, several big band banks, several synthesizer banks, so just a lot more. And this is what's unique about the Dale Mathis editions. You get none of this from Roland, and with the Dale Mathis, boy, I can't speak. With the Dale Mathis edition, all of this programming is included. Plus, I've revoiced the accordions. From the factory, they are so wimpy sounding, they've got no power. When I got my first FR7, way back in 2005 when they first came out to America, I was really disappointed in that instrument. It had zero power and really didn't play like an accordion at all. And for a year, it sat in the box. And I finally got around to learning the programming on it, and actually ended up using that accordion for about 10 years. And then I moved on to the 8X when they came out. So anyhow, sheet music for this tune, Redwing, is available from my website, dalemathisaccordion.com, and it's under the polkas subtitle. And the accordions are available from Craft Music in Milwaukee. Today we have the 4X and the 1X in stock. I didn't mention much about the 1X in this programming so far. I did reshape the sounds of the 1X also. The 1X from the factory really has a thin, wimpy, kind of nasal sound, but I've been able to reshape that also. So it's a far superior sound than one you get straight out of the box. So these are all available from Craft Music in Milwaukee. So thank you so much for watching today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and when you do, hit the bell, and that bell will give you a notice every time that I post a new video. Alrighty, so we'll see you again next time.